SM Caen have had a very up and down history since establishing their club in 1913, and I mean that very literally. The club have spent a lot of their time going between the top and second division in France, going through a constant cycle of whenever they reach that top division, they end up getting relegated very soon after, and having to refight from the second division to get back up once again. It's a constant cycle which is horrible, no one benefits from it, and it needs to be broken out of as soon as possible. SM Caen currently play their football in the second division of France, and I believe they're in serious need of a rebuild, but I'm not the only person who believes that, as they've just been bought out by French and Real Madrid superstar Kylian Mbappe, and he also believes that they need to be brought into some trophy winning ways, some good energy, and finally make their way back up to the Ligue 1 and actually survive. So we're here. I'm actually very excited for this rebuild, but as you can see, Kylian Mbappe is at SM Caen. That is I honestly I'm not even going to say signing, because he's pretty much signed his life over to us, but I'm very excited to have him as the heart and soul of the team. This is honestly the first time that I've used him in my own team in FM. He's always been either at Real Madrid after the database update or at PSG, so I'm very excited to finally have him at the depths of man like Klex. But he is an amazing footballer, you already know that, I don't need to explain nothing to you. There aren't too many other great players in this team though, so I don't think there's much of a point of showing you those, but rather me skipping to the end of the transfer window to show you who I've brought in and how much I've actually managed to do. So we've started off big. We've managed to get West Ham legend Angelo Ogbonna into the team on a free transfer. He's excited about the project, excited to work with Kylian Mbappe. We've also brought in Steven Alzate from, I believe, Brighton. Yeah, he was on loan at Standard Liège last season. We brought him in on a free. He's a good talent. We've also brought in Anthony Martial. He's just been released from Manchester United on a free transfer, as a lot of you would know. I don't think I should try to pronounce this name because it won't end well for me, but he's come in on a free transfer from Feyenoord. I don't know what it is with me and difficult names to pronounce, but we've brought him in from AC Milan. He is a great centre back, as we already know. I've seen so much from him. I can't say his name though. Yeah, I don't know if that J is silent or not. And finally, for squad depth, we've brought in Guillem Jamie. He just left Intercity in the Spanish, I believe that's third division, for free. Former Barcelona player, so we managed to bring him in just for squad depth. And with all of those transfers, this is kind of how we will be lining up for the first season. I do like this formation very much. We've only signed a couple of the players on 1-year deals, like I believe the centre backs are both on 1-year deals. Because of their age, we've got one 35 and one 36-year-old. I wouldn't be upset if they both left at the end of the season, even though they're both doing very well now. It's undeniable, especially Ogbonna on a 7.16. They're both doing very well, but I don't think they will cut it in the top division next season if we do actually end up getting promoted, which looks very likely. Of course, we do have Kylian Mbappe in the team, but I believe this is a great tactic as well. I don't know how Martial will cut it up top. For the second division, I won't doubt him because I don't think it can get worse, but I'm excited. I'm excited for this. I'm excited to start up and see how we do in this next season. So I will be simming to the end of the season to see the results, and hopefully we are promoted within one season. So we are here, end of the season, and I'm about to click on competition to see how we did. But first, let's look at player stats. 44 goals for Kylian Mbappe, 8.03 average rating, and 17 assists. What a player he is. Honestly, I know it's the second division of France, and I know it doesn't make a difference. Honestly, that 8.03 average rating is something that I don't think I've seen this game. 8.0, no, I haven't seen anything like it this game. That is amazing. What's that? 61 goal contributions in 39 games. So that's amazing. Honestly, Kylian Mbappe, take a bow. But let's take a look at our squad competitions and see how we did. We won the league. Alright, so that's expected. It's expected. You can't, it was very undeniable. We were going to win the league. But I'm still happy nonetheless. 4 losses, a bit poor from us there, but I don't mind whatsoever. We've absolutely smashed it. We've beaten everyone. we've beaten everyone. Honestly, Mbappe has 17 assists, which is more than most players. He's got more goals than everyone, and I'm happy with it. I'm very happy with it. Now look back at the squad, and you can see that now Simon is leaving. He's joining Girona. Also, I believe Ogbon he's joining Fiorentina, and there are some other players as well who are leaving. A couple retirements, so on. But there are a few players staying in Alzate, Martial, and obviously Kylian Mbappe stuck with us for life. So I'm happy with those results. I'll be simming to the end of the transfer window to see how many transfers I've managed to bring in, and I reckon it's going to be a big one because we're going to have to stay in the Ligue 1. If we get relegated again, then the cycle continues. So we are going to have to bring in a lot of players and overall squad depth because this team is not League 1 ready. So we've started off big in a Premier League centre-back in Jamal Lascelles, the Newcastle captain, I believe. The actual captain. He's just left them on a free transfer, so we have taken him up. He's good, he's big, he's fast. I'm happy to have him in. Another player that we've brought in, Premier League level, European football playing, Ben Davies. He is a very massive signing for us. He's versatile. He can play left back, centre back, left wing back, which is exactly what we need in our current formation, someone to fill both those roles. He will be a banging signing for a free from Tottenham Hotspur. Next, one that's more of a depth signing, I think. Maybe he'll start, maybe he won't. But Michael Keane from Everton, not one that I'm too keen of starting. But you get the pun. But he's a good addition to the squad either way. And you'll have to wonder how I'm doing this with all of the non-EU regulations here. Will Hughes has joined us from Crystal Palace to fill that defensive midfielder role on a free. Ion Radu has joined us from Inter Milan on a free as well to be our starting goalkeeper. We've brought in Lucas Vazquez from Real Madrid, the pedigree that this player has, and he's coming to SM Caen. That was one that I couldn't believe. Obviously, he's starting to lack the pace and stamina, but for a season, he will definitely he'll be a good player. Another big signing in Sean Longstaff from Newcastle United. He's already worth quite a bit of money, so I'm sure we will profit off him and get a pretty good player at the same time, all on a free. And the final transfer in, Alberto Moreno from Como. He had a pretty decent season in the in the Italian top flight last season, sorry. So obviously Italian league and French league, I think Italian league's a bit of a bigger league. Him downgrading a bit to the French league will be a very beneficial thing for us. He's got good pace, and like I said, I like my fullbacks to be able to cross and dribble. He could be a very good left back for a little while, but again, it might be hit and miss. We'll have to wait and see. So when I asked the AI to show me my best 11, this is what pulls up. It's a very different team to the team that I showed you last season. Obviously, only real players that stayed the same are the front three, and Mbappe, Martial, and not saying that name, but the back three and the four in midfield are actually all different, I believe. So it will be a very interesting season. So far it hasn't been though. 17th place, and it's looking a bit like the curse is going to happen again. We're gonna go up and go back down. But I'm stressing about it, but I'm not at the same time. I'm confident that Kylian Mbappe and his boys will be able to shine through. Anthony Martial is the biggest fraud I've seen in my entire life. I expect him to be a lot better for the rest of the season. But I'm not upset with the team. I reckon they can pull something out for this season, and hopefully we can just avoid relegation. I think if we finish around the 15th place mark, 14th, I'll be very happy. So that's my prediction. I'm gonna guess that we finish about 15th. I'll simulate to the end of the season and we'll find out if that prediction is right. So we're back, and you know what? I'm getting very mixed signals from this, because if you look on the top right of the screen, you can see that we won our last 2 fixtures of the league. But when you see player stats, Kylian Mbappe only has 25 goal contributions over the entire season, and it sounds like a lot, but it's Kylian Mbappe. He just came off a 60 goal contributions in the season, so I'm worried that we might have well got relegated this season. But we'll check competitions and see how we have managed to do. 12th. I'm happy with it. 12th place. That's mid-table. That's actually mid-table. I'm very, very happy with that. You know what? 12th place on 14 points off international football, 7th place. So there's a bit of work to be done, obviously, but that's actually a pretty good finish. I'm very happy with that. I'm proud of my team. But we'll take a look at how they've done this season. We'll go to selection info and find out. Yeah, so average rating. It's been all Mbappe actually. Jamal Lascelles has been our second best player on average ratings. Not too many appearances, but he's been pretty good when he came in. And also Will Hughes, Ben Davies, just the rest of them, they've been a bit average. But the players that really shine, or player, has to be Kylian Mbappe. No one else can really do what he can. 70 appearances and 60 goals, as you can see on the top right there. So it's not been an awful season. I'm not going to complain. If we look at the best 11, it still, I'm pretty sure, would say the same or similar thing. Actually, a lot of... I think I might have to change the system. I probably will change the system in time for next season, and also get some new players, because as you can see, there are a couple players that look like they're dragging this team down. I believe we could use another right winger. We could definitely use another striker, because Anthony Martial has been horrible. But you know, maybe we could run Mbappe as a striker, get a new left winger. We'll have to wait and see for next season. Speaking on next season, I will be skipping to the end of the transfer window to see how I've managed to do with transfers, if I've managed to offload the players that I want to, if I've managed to bring in the players that I want to. You will be able to see that all in just now. So I'll start off with some sales. Sean Longstaff has left us to go to our tie for £10 million. That is a lot of profit, and I'm very happy with that sale. It's our first sale of the entire save, so I'm very happy with it. And then Ben Davies has left us to go join Al Ettifaq under Steven Gerrard. Another sell. I'm happy with it as well, because you know, he's 33 years old. £9 million is good money for a 33-year-old, and plus they all want to go Saudi Arabia, don't they? Even though he's on actually a lot cheaper wages. I think he was getting paid more from me. That's strange. And then we've also sold Jamal Lascelles. Our tie came back in for another one of our players. £6 million fee, and he's already smashing it in the Saudi League. I'm sure because of that physicality, he could go through any league, honestly. He could get by any single league. And I'm happy with the sale as well. £6 million is good, but it's good money. This one I'm not as happy with. Steven Alzate, he's got a lot of talent. I really do like him, but he wasn't working out at the team. We managed to get £5 million from Leeds for him, and I'm sure he will go on at Leeds to become a good player. Obviously, he's had a bit of a shaky start at 6.32, but he's got good attributes. He's got everything that you could need in a midfielder. It just never really worked out of us. So hopefully he does end up making something of his career, and I feel bad for selling him, kind of. We've also sold Ali Reza. I still can't say his name, but £1.2 million back to Iran. I mean, I was never going to use him. I'm happy that we can finally replace him. And the final sale being Alberto Moreno for £600,000. He's gone off to Sassuolo, back in the Italian league. And, you know, I'm sure he'll finish his career there. He did pretty well for us, but his connection with Mbappe just wasn't connecting. So I think it's time for a new left back. Starting off the replacements, though, we've gone big with Jerry St. Just. If you've seen his face before, it's probably linked to one of his attributes, which you can see on the screen. His pace, 17 pace. He is absolutely rapid, and I'm sure he'll be a great replacement for Jamal Lascelles. James McCarthy, former Man City player, has also joined us on a free transfer. He's gonna be a good attacking midfielder. I'm looking for, he looks a bit ratty. He does look a bit like a rat, but he'll be a good attacking midfielder, a perfect player to slot right in behind whoever the striker is, whether that's Mbappe or another striker, and perform. We've signed another centre-back in Felipe Relvas. We've signed him from the Portuguese league, Portimonense, and he looks very good. I'm surprised that he wasn't swooped up by a different team earlier. He's 26 years of age, so he's not too young, but not too old. He's in the prime of his career, and I think he could be a very good centre-back. He's got a lot of things that you need. He's a bit lacking in the pace territory, but you know, that can be worked on. And our first signing with a transfer fee is here. We've managed to sign Ali Jassim from Como. We've signed him for £13.5 million. He absolutely smashed it in the top division for Como last season. With don't look at the actual goal contributions, but average ratings there. He was getting some good passes off. He was a key player for Como last season, so I believe he can come straight in for us and already smash it instantly. He's only had 4 appearances off the bench so far. I mean, it's not he's gonna get starting game time. I'm gonna make sure of it. He's a very, very good winger, and I believe he can become even better on that. We've also gone and signed Matthew Target. This one is a bit of a strange one, but you know what? I reckon in the French league he could cut it. It's not as difficult as the Premier League. Obviously, he's got history in the Premier League. I don't know if he's not great in the Premier League, but last season he didn't do too bad for Newcastle. In real life, obviously, he's a bit but in the game he did very well for Newcastle last season. So we've managed to bring him in. They let his contract run out, got him on a free £3 million, and he's already three appearances, and he's already got a 7.33 average rating. So I believe he could be a great left back replacement for Alberto Moreno. And now we've gone a bit crazy with the money spending. Thiago Santos has joined us from Lille for £7.75 million. If you've watched my previous rebuilds, you know that I have brought this player in before. He can develop into something crazy. He's 24, but his development still isn't done. I'm sure he will become so much better under these tactics. He'll become the right back that we finished the save with. He is a very, very good right back, and I believe he's perfect. We've also brought in Mikel. Another name I can't pronounce, from Bologna. Of course, Bologna they're in a bigger league than us, Italian league. He's starting football there, so I'm happy to bring him in. This one is massive. Alan Saint-Maximin has joined us from Al Ali. Obviously, you know how once they leave the Saudi clubs, their wage requests are very, very high. So no other team were interested in him. We managed to sign him around August, like late August times. He is a massive signing. The money that we're paying him is £120,000 a week. It's not bad. I'm not gonna lie. He's a very, very good winger, and it's not bad for that money. I believe he's gonna come back to the French league and absolutely smash it. He plays for Fenerbahce now in real life. He didn't do too well in the game at Fenerbahce, but he went back to Saudi, smashed it in the Saudi league for another season. We've brought him in back to the French league now, so hopefully he can perform. We've brought in a couple loans in Michi and Demby, Alex Matos from Chelsea, and Mark Guiu from Chelsea as well. We brought in these 3 loans just because of the very cheap loan fees that they've provided. We spent all of our money and wage budget on players for the first team, so we had no one on our bench. They are all for either 10% of wage or nothing. I believe it's the first one that I showed you for 0 completely, and both of the Chelsea players for 10% of their wage, adding up to about £600 per week. We've also gone and brought in Neto from Bournemouth. Of course, he played starting football last season in the Championship. Championship and Ligue 1 comparing each other, I believe Neto still could get a good season in for us. He played good football in the Championship, so we're bringing him up. I don't know if he can play the whole season, but we're keeping Radu in the team, so he will come in whenever Neto can't. I think if he gets out a good half a season, we're not paying him high wage at all. He's actually one of the lower wage players in our team. He's only for 1 season for sure, because I believe he probably will retire by the end of the season, 37 years old. But let's hope that he can retire on top and bring us to a good area. And the final signing that we've brought in is even bigger than the rest. We brought in Franck Kessié, also from Saudi Arabia, from Al Ali. Again, the same thing. It went to about early September or late August times. No one's brought him in yet, and his wage request was about £45,000. So we've brought him in on a free transfer. He is an amazing defensive midfielder. I've said this word so many times, but this time I mean it. He's so good, and I believe he doesn't even need to be played as a defensive midfielder. Box to box, he's got 13 finishing. You can play him up top if you want him to. So he's gonna be an amazing addition to the team. This is how we are going to run the team for this season. Obviously, we've locked in Mbappe up top. He's gonna play any game either way, so I might as well lock him in the position that I want him to play. Obviously, with the AI, they choose for him to go to left wing and start Mark, but I don't want to start a lone player. I would much prefer Mbappe to go up top, Saint Maximin on the left, and then to start Ali Jassim on the right wing. I believe this will 100% work. I really do love this attack. The front four, not even just the wingers and striker. I like McCarthy as well. He adds something different to the team. But I'm very excited for this season. I'll be simulating to the end of it, and hopefully we've actually managed to push for that European football. I'm not gonna get too excited, so I'm not gonna say Champions League. But if we can manage to get 7th place with this team, I'll be very happy. Of course, you have to pay attention to the depth that we have. It's not looking great. But if we can manage to get around 7th place, I'll be very happy with the team. We'll see you there. So we're back, end of the season. This is end of season 3, I believe. And as you can see, player stats: Kylian Mbappe 25 goals, and Ali Jassim has actually got the highest average rating. As I've said, he looks amazing. Honestly. 7.51 average rating, 19 goals, 13 assists. He looks like he's been absolutely amazing this season. I'm really liking the look of him, honestly. He might be someone that I keep in my notebook because he looks quite good. But let's go into competition straight away, see how we did in the league. I have no idea. Like I said, I'm hoping for a top 7 finish. We finished we finished 2nd place. We finished 7th. We finished 2nd place. That's mad. We finished 8 points off 1st place for the title. We actually finished 2nd place in our 2nd season in Ligue. So oh wow. My odds were on me fighting relegation more than challenging for the league. That is crazy. Wow. Only losing 6 games and drawing 3. We beat PSG. I'm very happy with that. Wow. Even the expectations from the board were to qualify Europa League, which was top 5. That's wild. 2nd place, I'm happy with it. We also had highest average rating, highest goals, and highest assists, as well as tied 2nd highest assists with Alan Saint Maximin on 10 in the league, 11 all competitions. That is very big. I'm happy with that. Let's see how the team's looking. Best 11. I can see retiring. He's 30 years old. Why is he retiring? Okay, that's going to be a problem. Got Jerry saying just retiring. But if I filter it by the best 11, it's still doing the same thing, putting Mbappe at left winger. As we know, the entire season Mbappe played up top, and he actually kind of smashed it. So I'm going to leave him up there probably for next season. But what a team, honestly. I'm very happy with what we've put out. Kessie, only 17 appearances, maybe he got injured. I'm very happy with it. Santos, the developments there. I'm very happy with it. Honestly, I'm gassed. Neto, as you can see, is also retiring. He played 21 games though, got 7 clean sheets. So like I said, he did what he was needed to do, and then he became sort of a backup to Radu, who came in for the 2nd half of the season, got his 17 appearances in. I'm chuffed. I had no idea that we would do that well. Oh no, but the transfer budget's still not looking good. That's grim. 5 million transfer budget for next season. Not much to really do. At all. But we'll have to see if I can manage to pull off another transfer window like this previous one. Obviously, we brought in a lot of people this transfer window. So hopefully we can match that next transfer window and also manage to keep up the level that we are at. We'll see there. So they've caught up to us. The non-EU registration rules have finally caught up to us. Matthew Targett has been forced to leave the club for 7.5 million to go off to Sporting. I mean, it's good money. I'm happy with the pure profit of 7.5 million. But he was a very good player when he was here. As you can see, that 7.12 average rating, it doesn't come lightly. So he's going to be a difficult player to replace. And we're sorry to have Matthew Targett leaving us. Another English player leaving. Obviously, the English players, they do count as non-EU players, so they do take up that non-EU slot in our registration. Will Hughes will be leaving us for £5 million. He's gone off to Strasbourg. He's not one that I'm too upset about. I'm more upset about Target for sure. And now a player leaving us on a free. Michael Keane has gone to Oxford United. But let me start you off on the signings. We've gone massive on the first signing, and we've brought in Miguel Gutierrez, Girona left back. He looks so amazing. Honestly, That is a Champions League level left back if I've ever seen one. Seriously, he looks very good on the game. He's got everything that I want him to have. He's got great crossing, great dribbling, he's got great pace, he's agile, he's everything that you could possibly need him to be. And he's also, it looks like he could actually develop into a decent midfielder. He's got good finishing stats too. You can see as a winger, he doesn't look too awful himself. So he's versatile, he's everything that I could have possibly asked for. Now this next one's a bit of a hit and miss signing. We've got Yuri Tielemans. Obviously, he hasn't been too great for Aston Villa recently, but if we can manage to get him back into that Leicester form, he could be an amazing defensive midfielder for us and someone to take us forward. So this next one is a bit of a hit and miss signing. This one, we've signed Lloyd Kelly on a free from Newcastle United. He hasn't played too much football for Newcastle, but when he has played, he's shone. So I mean, it's a risky signing. He hasn't started too well for us. He's got a 6.68 in the first 5 games, so it might be time to drop him to the bench for a bit because that's a bit embarrassing. I really do hope he picks up from that, but he has potential to be a great centre back. Next we've signed David Carmo, a centre back from FC Porto on a free. He looks very good, left-footed centre back, also good on his right foot, great for depth. We've also signed Calvin Ramsey. He's been through a bit of trouble, but he has just left Liverpool on a free transfer, so we did pick him up for that right back depth. He was definitely a great potential right back in real life, but I think injuries definitely have gotten to him. He just had a failed loan at OGC Nice in the game, so he has played in the French league before. I decided, okay, sure, we'll get him in for some decent squad depth. He could be good as a backup right back. Next, we've got in Christo from Sporting CP. Again, it's another depth signing, but when we're going into the Champions League, you have to have as much depth as possible. He can play anywhere on the front four, and that's exactly what we wanted. We've also brought in Ricardo Horta for the same exact reason, honestly. We've signed him from Manchester United on a free transfer. They've let him go after signing him for 25 million from Braga. He looks very good, to be honest. He's lacking that stamina now at 32 years old, obviously, but I don't expect him to be starting matches for us. I expect him to be coming on and balancing out a game. He's got great passing attributes and that first touch, finishing and dribbling. He's definitely got room to do something for us for sure. We've signed somewhat of a failed wonder kid here in Ilyas Akamak, former Barcelona player. He did leave to go to Villarreal, and I think that's where he went wrong, honestly. If he would have stayed at Barcelona, he would have had a lot more potential. But again, another depth signing. He can play anywhere in the attacking midfield, right wing, and also a bit lower down at centre mid, so it's a good signing. Also brought in Franz Kratzik. Wow. We've signed him actually as a left back cover, but he can as well. He's very versatile, so he can play defensive midfield, centre midfield, and attacking midfield. We signed him from Bayern Munich on a free transfer. Again, he kind of failed. He kind of failed at Bayern Munich, so we've managed to bring him in. Again, it's a risky one. We have no idea how he plays or anything, but he's made 2 appearances off the bench so far. Hasn't looked too great, but again, you can't judge him off too really. And the final signing, we brought in a massive one actually, Unai Vencedor from Athletic Bilbao. We've brought him in for that defensive midfield position, potentially to play alongside Franck Kessié. He's a good player. I do rate him a lot. So if you look here at the tactic I will be running, it's the same tactic. I really do like this tactic. It's a good 4-2-3-1. So if we do the best 11 by the AI, still it takes Mbappe out of position, which I don't like. But this is how I kind of plan to be running it, with Kessié and Vencedor in midfield. We are playing 2 left-footed centre-backs. Don't get onto me for that. That is, it's just what happened. I couldn't find any good right-footed centre-backs on the market. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for this season. It could end very well for us. So hopefully it does. I mean, I don't see us holding up second place again. And I don't see us pushing on to win the league, because obviously PSG are way too difficult to beat. If we can manage to get about third, then I will be happy. But I could easily see us dropping out of the Champions League slots for the foreseeable future. It's very difficult to hold that up right now, especially as a basically newly promoted team for us. So we'll be simming to the end of the season, and we'll find out if we've managed to keep up these standards or not. Okay, so we're here, and just off player stats, it doesn't really look as good as last season. I won't lie, it doesn't look very promising. So I think I have to just assume that it's not as good as last season, league results wise. I'm gonna predict maybe a 4th place finish. We'll go into competitions and see how he did. I mean, I would be upset with anything less than a 4th. You don't get 2nd and then downgrade like that. Like that. 6th place in the league. It's horrible. I'm not happy with that. 6th place. No, that's poor. And top goal scorers, I don't see Mbappe anywhere near. 12 goals in the entire season for Mbappe. That's horrible. I really don't like that. Marseille were the closest challengers, as you can see. They actually had a pretty good season. As well as Champions League, knocked out in the knockout playoff round. So I'm guessing we qualified here through playoffs. Actually did pretty well. 13th place is not too bad. We're getting in over teams like Leverkusen, Porto, Fenerbahce, a couple good teams there. But then we got drawn against probably the hardest team that there was, and lost 5-2, including a 4-0 loss at Anfield, I'm pretty sure. So that's fun, isn't it? It's a poor season from us. There's a lot to improve on. If I do buy the best 11, it moves them 3 around. But who really went wrong? Who messed up? A 6.83 for Lloyd Kelly. Like I said, one of the hit or miss signings missed. That's definitely a position to improve on for next season, and that's good to know. But I mean, everyone else, it's just poor all around. Honestly, I expected Mbappe to get a lot more than 12 league goals. He started every single match in the competition. I find that horrible from him. Don't get me. No, I can't do. No, it's something to work on, and I'll be back after the next transfer window of the final season. The next transfer window is the final season, so hopefully we've managed to turn it around. Also, we do have a couple players that are looking to depart, so we'll have to move on from there and see how that goes. There was one signing that I believe I forgot to mention too. He actually did play last season with us and now this season. Noah Atubolu, we signed him for £5 million. He is a great goalkeeper in the game. You can just see the attributes. We never sold Radu, but obviously with Neto retiring, I did want to bring in someone new. Okay, now on to this season. Our first departure was Calvin Ramsey. He left because he was looking to leave. We sold him to Strasbourg for what, £4.5 million. So it's good profit, but I mean, he wasn't playing too much with us. He got 16 appearances all off the bench. He was expecting a lot more than that, I believe. So it's not great. Yeah, it's not great business from us, but still we've made £4 million of profit, so I can't complain. And we've started off with a brand new centre back. As I said, I really did want to replace Kelly. I don't believe he's the right centre back to have. So I did bring in Robert Renan from Zenit, I believe. Yep, £11.75 million. It's a risky one because obviously he's never really played at a top 5 league, but the French league is not too big of a jump for any league in my opinion. So I think he definitely could smash it, and he has been so far at a 7.1 average rating. This next one is actually a bit crazy to me. We managed to bring in Kai Havertz from Arsenal on a free transfer. As you can see, he never really got more than 10 league games a season in. So he really did want to leave. He was never getting play time. We obviously offered him some good game time. We offered him that starting shadow striker role, and I think he could actually be very good there. Obviously, he's shunned for Chelsea. He's a Champions League winner. So I mean, he's a very good footballer, and I'm pretty sure he actually scored the winner for Chelsea in that Champions League final. He's known for that shadow striker role, so hopefully he can become that main player in the lineup. We've also signed Alexandre Penatra, another centre-back / right-back. I believe he is another... He could very well start for us. We signed him on a free from AZ Alkmaar. He looks very good, I'll be honest. His attributes look amazing. As you can see, the mentals are popping off. He's got good pace, great passing ability as well. So he could 100% become something big. This next one is Molten... Honestly, I can't say name. Morton something from Sporting CP. Another free transfer. He is again, attributes wise, very good. So I'm just going off attributes here. I don't know how good he is in the game. I've never signed him before. 29 years old, so he doesn't have too long left of his career, but on a free transfer I just couldn't pass it up. And that kind of relates to this one here. 31-year-old Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Obviously he's coming up to the end of his career, but those attributes are amazing. You can't pass it up. We've signed him up to be our starting striker for this season. And the final signing is Pascal Mazzocchi. We've signed him because he's very versatile. We can play on both fullbacks as well as maybe a bit forward, possibly. Great depth, honestly. He's 33 years old. We've signed him from Napoli, so he was playing at a pretty high level just before. Let's hope he can carry that to here. So we're back at the tactic, and now, I mean, it's a bit. It's more experimental. We're not going to be locking Mbappe into position, just because now after last season I don't have confidence in him up top. 12 goals up top in the French league is horrible. So we've gone for someone who can score goals. He's already scored 3 in 5 matches and 4 assists as well. He is on 7 goal contributions in 5 league matches. That's massive. We're also going to be sticking with Jassim on the right wing. Last season was a bit of a drop off for him. He's got the ability to fix up though, 100%. Otherwise, this is how we'll be lining it up. It's pretty similar to last season. Obviously, the 2 centre backs change, and also getting in a new defensive midfielder. The attack's a bit different too, and depth. Just the fact that we're getting some more depth in. Registration. Lloyd Kelly's not in. I'm sorry, Lloyd Kelly. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. I have no regret for losing Lloyd Kelly. But otherwise, the team is looking pretty good. I'm happy with it. So hopefully we can recover this next season and manage to get back to the form of that second place finish. So far, we're in 5th place. It's not awful. I'm hoping for that top 4 though. I really do want that top 4. So I'll be back at the end of this season, hopefully with a top 4 for you lot. Okay, so this could either be very good or very bad. I see that the player stats, they're not as great. They're better than last season though. And I also see one main thing. The PSG job is also open. That means that their manager must have either been sacked or the off chance that they left the club. But I don't see him leaving the club because there's not many other big clubs to go to unless there was like a whole shift of managers. I suspect that PSG didn't finish top of the league and they ended up sacking their manager. Also, the Lyon manager getting sacked as well could mean that same thing. Lyon didn't do as well. So there is an opening for someone to win the league. Has it been us? I'm going to press on competitions, and if we've won the league, I might run out of the room. Let's see. That is runners up of the Europa League. That's what... you know what? That is massive. Runners up of the Europa League. I'm not even gonna pay attention in the slightest to the league table, but the fact that we actually managed to make it to the final of the Europa League, that is big. That is very massive. We managed to make it second in the league phase, then go to the round of 16s, beat Partizan 5-1, quarterfinals being AZ Alkmaar 8-3 on aggregate, semi-finals 5-3 win against Napoli, to go on to the final and lose 2-1 to Newcastle United. That's unfortunate, but it is massive for us because we've never been runners up to a European competition as a club. So I'm very happy with that. But the league, the fact that we've actually kept it the same 2 seasons in a row is horrible. And I've got a problem with 6th place if you've seen my previous videos. So 6th place is not good at all. But it's crazy. It's better now that Marseille have won the league, because I'm happy it's put an end to this previous reign of terror from PSG. I think it lasts 5-6 years that they've gone without losing one. So it finally put an end to that. Hopefully that would mean in the future, obviously, I might carry the save on off video. If I do that, then, you know, it kind of means that PSG have been knocked off their winning ways. There's a chance now that carries on. But honestly, massive. I have to give my ups to Marseille and Didier Deschamps. But I'm more thankful for the Europa League, honestly. What a competition it was. If I sort by best 11, is pretty much the same as earlier on in the season. Kylian Mbappe, I'm unhappy with you. You'd be lucky if you don't get released. Honestly, that £0 a week is about to be me. You're gonna have to owe me money after that, bro. It's gonna be minus 100. I want you to pay me £100 a week to keep you here, because I can't be having it. Actually, he kind of does pay my wage, but never mind. Never mind, let's look at the squad and how we've done. Goals scored, Calvert-Lewin 27, Havertz 21, Ali Jassim on 17, Mbappe on 14. That's 4th place on goals scored, by the way. And then Miguel Gutierrez at 6 goals scored from left back. Big up to him. Assists, it's Ali Jassim top as expected, Thiago Santos 2nd, Mbappe 3rd, Havertz, Gutierrez and McCarthy tied on 7. It's a bit strange that McCarthy's still getting game time, but honestly, if he's actually getting that amount of assists off the bench, then I'm thankful for him. He's been a good signing. He's been a good servant to the club for sure. But that has been a very, very fun rebuild to do. Obviously, Mbappe taking over FC Caen. I see a good future under them. Can they ever match up to how I've done in this save? I don't think so. But European runners-up within 5 years, I'll happily take it. So now that marks the end of this rebuild. If you did enjoy, please do leave a massive like below. It goes so far. Also subscribe and leave that notification bell on to know the next time I post. Also leave down in the comments. I'd like to ask you to rate my rebuilds from 1 to 10. 1 if it's not as great of a rebuild, and a 10 if it is a pretty good rebuild. Please as well leave your opinions on why you have rated it that number, because the feedback goes a very long way for me. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.